They want to one God, Jedi Knights and Sith Lords. Today we're gonna break down. Well, give our impressions on the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. As usual, I'm joined with my good buddy Eric. How are you doing, my friend?
Doing good, good, good. Can't complain. Things have
Yeah,
settled down, yeah, and we're good to go. So we're a little late on this little
yeah,
review, but you know what? There's more to talk about because there's been we got to see a lot of reactions and stuff. So
true.
give some
Yeah,
get some good feedback. And you?
yeah, and we have a good news to announce our fans or our viewers. We're gonna have our first panel
Yeah,
ever from Star Wars Artifacts at the Montreal Comic Con next July. So it should be fun. We'll go back down memory lane, talk about how everything started and all the obstacle I have to overcome on a daily basis running the channel and
it's
everything. So it should be fun.
it's funny
It's
because I
gonna
thought of that and my experience and my point of view that I'm not even sure I ever told you about
yeah.
how I got involved, like in my thought process. And
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
so I'll tell you about it. I guess we'll save it for there, keep it for a surprise. But yeah, that's
Why not? Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, even on my end, I started collecting these. Like, remember I told you there was the Galaxy's Edge comics that I started.
Yeah, sure,
Issue
got it.
number
So
two
you
is out. I haven't read it yet.
cool.
But while I was there was two one-offs with really nice arts about
Wow.
Cassian and Jin Urso.
Rogue One. Huh?
Yeah. So there are two
Awesome.
one-off comics that I picked up as well. They're a local store here. So I'm looking forward to doing that and
Cool.
reading this. Yeah. So
Yeah, well, give us your thoughts
yeah,
whenever you read them.
yeah, for sure. So
So, yeah, so
let's dive in.
uh, thanks to Disney Entertainment Quebec, we got to see the advanced screening of The Mandalorian and Grogu. So we got to see the movie like about 2 days in advance. And it was a gathering of our friends from the 501st Legion, and we got tickets that we gave away to Star Wars Artifacts fans and subscribers. We got 10 pair of tickets that we were able to give away, and the whole Star Wars Artifacts crew was there to attend
Hmm.
that advanced screening. So it was a pretty cool evening. We got to meet the staff from Disney Entertainment Quebec for the very first
Yeah,
time.
yeah. The
That
first time
was
I ever got
cool.
recognized in my life, even though as minor as it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that
So
was pretty
that
cool.
was
Cause
fun.
well, for some
Yeah.
people that don't know, you and I live kind of far from each other. It's
True.
a minimum of I'd probably say an hour and a few
An
minutes
hour and a
at the
half.
very
Yeah.
least. Yeah. So we really don't see each other that much, other than on here
Hmm.
and chatting on Facebook and whatnot. So yeah, it's always nice to see you and especially your parents and all
In the
that. So
flesh. Yeah.
yeah,
So that was fun. And yeah, so that was cool because we got to see the movie with a bunch of Star Wars fans,
yeah. People who really wanted to see it,
Hmm.
and took the advantage of, I'm sure there was other outlets and stuff that were able to join, and whether it be other contest winners or
Yeah.
part of the media as well. That it was fun because you were surrounded by fans. It wasn't like going there
Hmm.
on a Saturday afternoon. People just say, "Oh, let's just go watch this movie," right? Like it was all fans, and you could see they appreciated it.
Hmm.
Um, but on that note, maybe a biased approach, going to see the movie with
Yeah.
a bunch of Star Wars fans. So I mean, on that,
People that are already sold, right?
yeah, exactly. They're going there, but like so. Let's jump into like the initial thoughts, and I'll give mine like real quick, and we can go back and
Hmm.
forth on this. But like for me, I think it was. I think expectations is the theme of what uh, would make this movie successful. Financially, it's doing
Hmm.
okay. I think it's
Yeah.
it's not a blockbuster, and everything like that. But I don't think, if you went in there thinking this was going to be in your top five Star Wars movies,
You were in for
that yeah,
disappointment.
you had no business going as well. Not no
Yeah.
business, but you should have. That should have been part of you managing your expectations, and
Hmm.
I think in the end, what I thought what it was going to be, it's what it was. So I'll let you give a bit of your first impressions as well on this one.
Well, I agree with you. If somebody was expecting something as epic as a movie from the Skywalker saga,
Yeah,
as you said, you were in for disappointment because
unless it was episode 8. But
there's no. Oh yeah, well yeah.
I'm sorry, I keep harping on that movie, but yeah,
So there's no huge battle station to destroy. There's no. The universe is the fate of the universe is at stake, kind of. You
yeah.
know. So yeah, it's
Well, let's be
you
honest.
know.
If this movie did not exist, if it didn't exist, and we went straight to the next Mandalorian movie, I mean, everyone's seen this movie by now. If you're watching this for
Mhm.
sure, if this movie didn't exist, it wouldn't move the needle at all. It
No.
wouldn't change anything. And now if we get into more gritty, there was nothing that was carried into the movie from the previous seasons,
No.
or very little. For crying out loud, I mean, I thought going to Navarro we would at least see IG-11. I mean, I know obviously some people couldn't be there for whatever political reasons and
Yeah.
or deaths, or I understand that part, but like you couldn't CGI him in there with all the CGI you did with Zeb, like at least a
Hmm.
cameo of like it's a robot, right? Like it's a
Hmm.
droid. I'm sure it wouldn't have been a big deal to voice him for get a couple lines. So there's to me there was just that. My only disappointment, I guess, because it really was what I thought it was going to be, but my biggest disappointment, I guess, is that there really was no big surprises. Like nothing. There's no
No.
Boba Fett. There's no
No.
Bo
Sure.
Katan.
Yeah.
There's nothing that came back. I thought with maybe with Gina Carano being back in the conversation a bit, could she have popped up, like anything? Just like give us something. But the biggest
Yeah.
cameos are Dave Filoni and the guy from Kim's Convenience. I forget his name.
Yeah. Paul Son
Yeah.
Hoopli.
So I mean
But I
that's
was kind of expecting to see him, to be honest.
yeah.
Especially since we saw some scenes at the Adelphi base, and that's where he's based as well. So not seeing him would have been a
But to
disappointment for
me,
me.
I expected seeing them as much as I expected to see other stuff, right? And
Yeah.
I guess my initial expectations before seeing the trailers was, oh, they're making a Mandalorian and Grogu movie. Are they going to kind of wrap things up over all the seasons? Kind of like make like I don't want to say like an Avengers, right? You've had all the movie,
Hmm.
and then you kind of reassemble everything. But I guess the biggest clue was that Boba Fett wasn't back in it. I'm like, so what's
Hmm.
going on, right? Like, so it's like, and there really was nothing. So that was a kind of disappointing, and also there was nothing open ended with the movie at the end. We're just like, oh my god, well now this is going to happen next. It was
Yeah.
really they
No
closed the
post
book.
credit scene.
Yeah, was it Nick that
So
said it was a side quest, and
yeah, that's
but
it.
but it was a good side quest.
Hmm.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I think that like walking out of the movie, I was like, oh, I'm feeling indifferent. I want to see it again, but going into it, and even I would say, even if you're a bigger fan, like or you were really disappointed, go back with the mindset now. This is basically season 4.
Well, technically, Favreau said that he has put the storyline for season 4 aside and wrote something specific when he received the commission to do a movie.
Yeah, well,
So
that
how
that that
much did he pick from that season? I don't know,
yeah.
but
But what happens is like like with the road, I find that Star Wars has been under. I think that they needed a little bit more of a punch. To
mhm,
hit you're going to the a big major release. It's super fun, and in hindsight to have seen Star Wars on the big screen again.
yeah,
But there really was nothing out there that in my opinion justified it being a box office kind of like release, right? Like
no,
it just like I said, you could have cut that up and made it into a season, and you would have had people less disappointed, I think, than having gone and paid
mhm,
who knows how much at the popcorn and everything like that to go
yeah.
see it, and
Especially if you buy the popcorn buckets that
well, the
are
buckets and everything like
crazy
that, yeah.
expensive.
But so I think like I
We
said,
got
it's
a
all
troop.
management.
We got the troop like 4 days after we saw each other at the cinema in my hometown,
Mhm.
and I was curious, so I went to see the lady and I asked how much is the 80 popcorn bucket, And she told me, well, that's $80.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? And you don't have the popcorn. You just, that's $80. It's
Yeah.
for the bucket, period.
You're better off going to buy the toy that's in stores of
Sheesh.
Walmart. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is popcorn buckets.
I
Let's
was like,
face
I'm
it.
not buying
It's
a Lego UCS, you know?
well before it used to be that, right? You go to the movies, like even not too long ago, a couple of years ago, they would have a bucket for some releases. Now it's like
Yeah.
every movie's got a bucket
Its
and
own bucket.
more. It's
Yeah.
it's like a
Mm.
whole release, and people are going crazy collecting them and reselling and all this stuff, which is fine. But I would have wanted a bucket at maybe $50 if they would have had it.
Yeah.
Like if they would have had the AT-AT just for the fun of it. But like a lot of the times I find these buckets are not super convenient or big to store
Mhm.
much popcorn
True.
anyway, right? It is just like it's a gimmicky, right?
Yeah, I think yeah, for sure.
But I mean,
And it
overall,
takes so much place.
yeah.
You
Well,
know?
that's it. I mean, if you start collecting, that's a whole other thing. I don't have the room for that.
I mean,
but-
if you guys look behind me, where would I put that AT-AT? I mean,
yeah. I just find that if you really want an AT-AT on display, there's many choices of
Yeah.
toys, even retro toys, anything that can satisfy that need.
mhm,
But
definitely.
if we go back to the movie, like what about
But
for
that
you?
scene, let's speak about that scene, the AT-AT scene, because that's personally one of my favorite scenes of the movie.
Yeah, I would say
You
to
know,
me that was the highlight. It felt a little bit more Star Wars / Imperial kind of. They played obviously on the nostalgia of Hoth and
yeah,
and for me, I had seen that scene because it was Fortnite was having a special event in the game, and they were showing the
Okay.
first like 10 minutes of the movie. If you
Hmm.
went into like this kind of theater in the game, and they showed
Okay.
that whole scene, so I'd seen it already, and I was a little bit more hyped up. I'm like, oh man, if it's like
Mhm.
this, but then it just took a turn for Mandalorian season whatever right after.
Yeah.
So
It kind of reminded me that like the way it was shot, like the beginning of a James Bond movie or Indiana Jones movie.
yeah,
No, the quest is already in progress, and we catch up with the heroes.
yeah,
And then as soon as they finish that, cue the credits, and the theme song,
yeah.
and
But
the actual movie begins.
I thought it
after
was
that,
quirky. The humor and everything like that was kind of like it felt like Star Wars at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Like that. Not that the rest didn't, but the rest just felt like I said, like a Mando side quest.
Mhm.
I mean, in reality, there was almost no actors in there. Sigourney Weaver had a minor part, and you think
True.
she plays a big role, but
They
she
saved a
doesn't.
lot on the actors,
Oh yeah, I mean it's
on salaries.
basically CGI almost everyone, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean they got a voice.
Steve Blum is voicing Zeb
Yeah,
for the few scenes that he's in.
yeah,
Martin Scorsese,
yeah,
I'm sure he did a favor to Favreau, and I'm sure he wasn't very expensive, voicing Hugo Durant.
So
Then
Jeremy
there's
Allen
Shirley
White,
Henderson,
or-
who
yeah,
voiced Babu Frick. She voices
yeah, I mean,
all four Hensons. So
yeah.
but that's it. I mean, there are obviously Jeremy Allen White who
Yeah.
voices Rhoda.
But that like it was cool to have that, but honestly, there's plenty of voice actors who could have done that, and
Mhm.
there's no one that's thinking, oh, that performance, he really stole the show with his voice acting. Like it to me, not like it's just they could have.
No.
There was a lot more emotion involved with this relationship with his aunt and uncle, all this kind of stuff. So there was part of that where they tried to make him, I don't want to say more humanized, but like it just the fact that he was speaking basic or whatever was kind of
Yeah.
like kind of weird too. But like
Well, I saw them speak basic in the trailer, and I was like, no, come on, guys,
yeah,
please make them speak Utties. And yeah, they begin in Utties, and then they switch.
yeah, that was a little weird. I mean, they could have
in
just
basic,
kept
it was
them.
weird, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but
But
again,
in the Clone Wars
nitpicking.
animated series, the Hutts speak basic.
Yeah,
Jabba speaks in English, and Rada speaks Zero, not Rada, but Zero. The Hutt speaks basic. I mean, mostly because the show was intended for kids, and
Yeah.
they don't want the kids to have to
to
read
read, yeah.
subtitles at the bottom. But
But I mean, this is nitpicking, right? All that to say is that
Mhm.
they didn't really need Jeremy Allen White to do that. It didn't add much value, and it wouldn't remove much value if it was a professional voice actor that maybe
Yeah.
that's a little bit better known. and even then like the bounty hunter, the other bounty hunter that they had there, like there was almost everything was CGI, right? So like
Yeah.
that's why I'm like, you couldn't fit IG-11 in there. Like, I mean, there's just things
Yeah.
like that. Like, what was even the point of going to like Navarro? Like, so it was like, I don't know. But even as a season, I think it wouldn't have been the best one by far. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, to me, season 1 and 2 are like, the top two. And then after that,
Yeah.
season 3 is, I think I would even argue that Book of Boba Fett Mando 2.5 is actually more interesting. But like I said, it wasn't bad because I took it for what it was. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, did you find any Easter eggs in it? Because I mean, I did say that there was nothing that
Yeah.
really came back, but I mean,
Yeah. Well, obviously, Rada is an Easter egg in itself because the only time we ever saw him was in the Clone Wars movie. And funny thing is, that is one of the most frequent question I get from casual fans at conventions and stuff like that is, whatever happened to Rada? And I was like, well, we don't know
yeah,
officially yet. And now we finally know what happened to him. Became a gladiator
hit the
and
gym.
what?
He hit the gym a bit there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
quite a bit. Yeah.
yeah,
So that was cool. I mean, well, both warlords that we see in the movie, they were both members of the Shadow Council that we saw in season 3 of The Mandalorian.
okay,
When Moff Gideon has his little Zoom conference with all
yeah,
other former Imperials, so
yeah,
they were there, and they were two. Those two were asking questions. They were a bit skeptical about Tron's return, so I think it's a good thing for Tron to have been rid of those two former imps because they were questioning, is he the leader we're really looking forward to? So less opposition for him.
yeah,
I mean, obviously, Barrow, when he escapes the AT-AT, he escapes in a INT-4 capsule, which was back in the 80s, a toy that was made by Kenner, and it hadn't been seen in any Star Wars content before. So
yeah.
that was a cool nod to see those kind of capsules before. What else did I get in my notes? Nalhata. It means glorious jewel in Atis. I didn't know that at all.
Okay,
The logo on the door, between the two giant robots
yeah.
that are actually stop motion by Phil Tippett.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Huh.
that battle scene is entirely by Phil Tippett. So
Really? Okay.
yeah,
Oh, now
that's
I want to see
pretty
that
epic.
again.
Yeah. So the big logo is the Selegic Kajidik clan, which is Jabba's clan. So we saw it previously on Jabba's arm, like a tattoo he has on his arm in the
Yeah,
Return of the Jedi. So
yeah,
we get a Dewanawanga at some point from Mando. So I thought it was a
yeah.
cool salutation to Rada in Atiz. We see some Amani, those creatures that go in the water to seek out Grogu and Mendo in the swamps.
Yeah,
Uh, those are scary, by the way.
yeah.
They're pretty fierce creature. But we got to see one of that species in the background of the Return of the Jedi. It was even an actual action figure back in the days from Kenner. And I always wondered, what that creature is.
Hmm.
What's the story? It was called Aman Aman at the time. And
Return of the Jedi. I feel like I'm not.
you don't have well, you have to keep your eyes open and
Oh,
don't
okay,
blink
okay.
because yeah. And what else? What else?
The
To
overall
sing
the
to sing like a Yasm is that there's a species. The singer in the special edition of the Max Rebo band.
mm-hmm.
And when you say no, 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 that one, and then he boogie dance, and it starts to sing in the
Yeah,
Return of the Jedi.
worst scene ever.
That's a yasm. So
Okay.
and
Yeah.
that's what he says when he brings back Lieutenant Coin. He's ready to sing like a yasm. So that's a cool, very very deep Easter egg
Yeah, yeah.
that
Well,
had to
there's one
be.
that's a lot more obvious. I don't know if you got another one there, but
Well, go ahead.
the arena battle,
Oh yeah, for sure.
which
Yeah,
is the first thing I noticed. I pointed it out. I was with my son Jackson. I'm like, look at the ground that they're on,
yeah.
and I said it's exactly. And then look at the creatures. Like it was basically what we saw when Chewie and R2 were.
We're playing
Uh,
the Jarek,
I
right?
think there was even a body slam or something I saw somewhere that like it was
Yeah,
basically a reenactment.
one of the biggest creature. He lifts another one
Yeah,
and bangs it on the ground, just like in in A New Hope. So
well, for me it was the ground that kind of like gave it away, like with the like the checkered board
yeah,
kind of like pattern. I'm like, wait a minute, and like I pointed, I'm like, do you see this? And then he's like, oh yeah. So like that for me was it's for me. I don't really pick up as much on Easter eggs. I see stuff, I don't identify it as well, but like that one, I'm like, oh, picked up on it right away. So
oh yeah, that whole scene. When everything goes south and the cage, the lasers, they get shut down and the escape, like the whole chaos
yeah.
that ensues, pretty fun. I mean,
Well, speaking of that, then, what would be your favorite scene or scene that stood out? Would it be the AT-AT part, or is there something else that stood out to you?
well,
Putting you on the spot.
it's between those two scenes, I would say, because the AT scene, like you said, I had already seen it before,
Yeah.
so I was like, pumped when I first saw it,
Hmm.
maybe 2 months ago. But that arena scene was pretty epic. There was all sorts of the Orabesh out there was kind of fun to try to decipher.
Yeah.
When the biggest of the creature escapes, there's like a sign above it, and it says Weathers Apollo. A nice wing to Carl Weathers,
Yeah.
who played
Yeah.
Apollo Creed, obviously in the Rocky movies. So that
But
was a nice wink.
it
But
definitely had an Attack of the Clones feel to it. The whole thing, like with the
yeah,
creatures and like with Padme and
with the
Anakin, like the whole.
Nexu and the
Yeah, that's like it really had that kind of like all the creatures, the different creatures coming out. It really had a kind of a throwback to that.
yeah, and,
Um,
and when Mando is in Janu's office, there is an actual Nexu head on the wall. So maybe they just like we know it's gonna look a bit like this, and we're gonna acknowledge it by
yeah,
putting a Nexu head on the wall. So
I'd have to say for me, one scene that stood out. I don't know if it was my favorite, but well, I don't want to say scene, but it was like a segment. Is when the movie kind of went silent for
oh yeah,
about 15 minutes or so, or
hmm
whatever, with the whole
something like that.
Grogu, his
Carrying
his quest caring for Mando, and like the only talking that we heard was from that the creature that was
yeah, Gatory. That's his
yeah,
name in the
okay.
movie. So
And like, but everything that was just like the back and forth and taking care, like it was a good, I'd have to check, but a good 10-15 minutes of like
oh
just
yeah, solid.
yeah, just quiet silence, and it was
Fun
fun to
humor. I
see.
mean, when the
Yeah.
the scorpion creature is about to hit the Mando, it
Yeah.
grabs it like Grogu comes out of nowhere and eats it, and then when he makes a little shelter out of mud and he shoves it in, but we hear the bang of
Yeah.
the helmet.
But the whole thing was, and you could see it was like, now it was Grogu taking care of maturing into developing in his character as well. So
Well,
um
I guess we learned how Yoda built his hut as well
well,
in
that's
the
it.
same
I mean,
process.
obviously, anyone that saw that hut being built is just like getting throwbacks to that as well. I mean, you would
Hmm
hope. But I think it. Other than that, like the we got to see the reactions that came out afterwards, right?
hmm
We saw it early, but like over the week, the next week or so, it was just such a mixed bag of people thinking what a waste. I've seen stuff on Facebook from people who are fans, but fans, whatever. There's some people that are like, the diehard, or like original trilogy fans that just don't want to budge from there. That were starting to, poop on the movie a bit, saying this was such a waste of time and all this stuff. It's like, listen, you want Star Wars or you don't. Like, if you just want to stick with your original trilogy, that's fine. Do you just stick with it and just don't go watch it, right? But like, again, did you not know that this was going to be like this? Like, if you've watched all the other stuff, you know which kind of era we're in now with Disney, and if you thought you were going to go there and say, "Oh, this didn't dethrone a New Hope," of course not. Like, so.
No.
It's content, and for me, like I said, it's like it's a side quest, but like there was some people that were just completely putting it down. But I think it sums up to what were your expectations, and some people were just. I think some people were even over the top, saying this was amazing.
Yeah,
I went to see it because I thought it was like the best 2 hours or whatever of my life. I'm like, oof. I'm like,
no, not so sure, but
yeah, I'm like, I don't know about that, I think even a casual fan.
Let me ask you a question. Did you prefer 2 hour and 15 minutes of Mandalorian and Grogu, or would you prefer to watch 2 hour and 15 minutes of The Acolyte?
Well, I'm not even gonna entertain that question because I think it's going to stay. But you know what? Like, it's been an. I've had conversations with people as far as episode 8 and Acolytes over the last few months, and it's something that I want to go back and just watch again. I know I'm not gonna like it, but it's stuff that I get brought up like in these arguments. People that say, "Well, a lot of people didn't like episode 1 when it came out, or episode 2,
yeah,
but it grew on you, right?" And is something like Mando, the Acolyte, episode 8. Is that stuff, episode 8, never, but is that stuff that you can go back and it'll grow on you? Like people hate it now, but I never hated episode 1. I never hated Jar Jar. I didn't particularly thought he was great, but I thought I knew what it was. He was there for kids, right?
Yeah.
So I never hated that. And stuff did grow on me. For me, episode 2 grew on me with the Clone Wars. It added so much more context to that. But like, I've never hated it, and I don't hate. I mean, I definitely don't hate Mando. I liked it. It's just 6.5, 7 to me. Like, big max. Like, doesn't go much higher than that. It's not bad. It's not great. It is what it is, right? I would have given it the same score as a series. So, but yeah. I mean, would I rather watch that than the Acolytes? I mean, yeah. But what about you though? Like, if it's, I wouldn't go back to see it in theaters. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, if I could, I think I would. But the thing is, where I live, it will be in French, and I watch my movies in English. So
yeah, well, for
I'm
you,
afraid I'm gonna like it even less, seeing it in French. And I had a friend who was going to see it in French, and I joked to him that they were calling Jabba the way they're calling it in French in the New Hope. So I told them they call him Jabba the Forestier. So it's Rotin the Forestier. And he was like, "You're kidding me, right?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm kidding you." But yeah, so I made a list of 6 things that bothered me from the movie.
Okay.
And I got 8 things that I liked. So
okay.
Yeah, let's run through them a bit. Number 1 that bothered me is the whole freaking helmet thing.
Yeah, that was.
I'm starting to get tired about the rule of the helmet. I mean,
I feel like they just had to give Pedro Pascal some FaceTime in there. I really don't think that there was any other reasons, because
and that's okay.
Because otherwise, you didn't even need to be in the movie, right? Like, so
the whole reason that the helmet rule exists is because they don't want to pay Pedro in every freaking episode as an actor.
Yeah, I know, but I find that at that point is like he kind of like shifted gears on that too. Now he's like, Well, not if I
But
don't
now
let
it's
you
a
live.
movie. He's
But
got to
like
be. He's got to show
it's
his face, right?
yeah, yeah, I know. I think that that's what it was. I don't think that there was, and they had to kind of write that in somehow. It didn't really work for me either. Yeah,
Yeah, and it forces them to update the rules like by the minute. I mean,
yeah,
when he took off his helmet, the armorer in season three, or no, it's in the book of Boba Fett.
yeah.
When he
When he
she says,
fights,
has anybody seen your face?" He says, "Yes." She doesn't say, "And you did you kill them afterwards?"
no, exactly. She goes, "No, you're
It's not
out."
even like a
Yeah,
thing.
but I mean,
And
I think
now,
I think that the he kind of might have, maybe they can justify it with the relaxed rules of Bo-Katan when she was there, and
mhm.
things got a little bit more relaxed. But like even then, yeah,
And now he says, "Well, now you're not a the Hut says you're not a Mandalorian anymore." And he says, "Well, not if I kill you."
yeah, yeah,
So I'm like, "Okay, come
yeah.
on."
Okay, come on, you got
So
you got like seven more. Let's go.
at the end of season three, when the Mando adopts Grogu, the Armorer names him Din Grogu.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
How many times did we hear Din Grogu in the movie?
Yeah.
Zero.
Yeah.
How many times did we hear Din the Djarin in the movie? Zero.
Yeah.
It's always, "Hey, Mando." Like, come on.
Yeah. I thought also with that, like, I mean, I feel like they backtracked in the overall. They backtracked because it just looked like he put his feet up, it was all over. Now he's still kind of working, doing like that was quite the quest that he
Yeah.
did there at the beginning of the opening scene, right? Like, and then taking this on. So it's like they kind of backtrack, but I think that that's a bit of a reaction to what's been going on. They
Hmm.
reviewed the direction and everything like that. So I don't know. Yeah.
All right, number three. Not enough screen time for Zeb. I think he barely has more screen time in the whole movie than what we saw in the trailer.
Yeah, my unpopular opinion on that is that he doesn't belong in this movie in the first place. So I don't
Yeah.
know why he's not in Ahsoka or somehow involved in Ahsoka, but he's been in a season and now he's been
Hmm.
in this movie. He was basically the right hand man of Mando. So I don't, I'm not a fan of that in the first place. It's fun to see him, but it's not where I want to see him. Right?
Yeah, I like to see his bow rifle, how he uses his
Yeah,
staff, stuff like that. But I was expecting a little bit more about that.
yeah,
Well, we spoke briefly about it. Mando's recovery is too long, in my opinion.
yeah,
They could
yeah,
have shortened it like by a good 5 minutes. And the Gatorade moments with Grogu, I was expecting that creature to be much more important in the movie.
okay, yeah,
There was like a rumor that he was the guy who had taught Yoda to use the Force and was going left and right and all sorts of theories, and is just a regular dude.
yeah,
After retired on his little swampy chalet
yeah.
and
I don't
fishing
know.
around. Like,
I
okay,
took
that's
that
it.
for what it
Okay.
was, right? I think it was just like there's other stuff they could have cut from the movie. That yeah, it was a little long, especially from just to be standing up at the end and being fine. So it was,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm. So five, the hut speaking basic. We talk about
yeah,
it. I want
yeah,
to talk about it anymore. And finally, Rota fighting his uncle and aunt. CGI versus CGI. Slug against slug.
yeah,
That felt weird.
yeah. Well, the whole thing at one point when he goes to see the twins and he's going through the cave and you see all these huts or whatever kind of
Yeah.
slithering through the cave. I thought that was like, I don't know. It felt like a little bit like a bordello or something. It was kind of
Yeah, nothing like that.
weird,
And
almost
we see the
erotic. It
twins
was.
like in 69th
Yeah.
position at some point. I was like, what's
Yeah, I don't
going
know.
on
Yeah.
here?
Let's move on to the positive side. I feel like we just kind of just crapped on the movie a bit too much there, which is
Yeah, okay, so yeah, I like to say the positive for the end.
yeah,
The visuals, different planets, Nalhata in live action for the first time.
yeah,
That's cool. Number two, Martin Scorsese as Hugo Durant.
yeah. He was good.
That was fun. It
Yeah,
was, he gave a good interpretation of the
yeah,
character.
yeah,
Uh, Rio Durant was the Armenian in Solo,
yeah.
same family name. Hugo Durant says he has like 12 kids. Could Rio have been one of his kids? I don't know. Maybe it's a nephew. Maybe it's
But
a
Rio would have
brother, cousin.
been much older, no?
Well, it's about 20 years after Solo. So
Okay, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Who knows? But it's a Durant, so maybe the Durant family name is like very common. It's like in the Smiths
yeah.
in the in this the indigenous species. We don't know. Number three, stop motion. I mentioned it. The two droids.
I didn't even know that.
They were
I'm
used in
dying to
stop
see that scene
motion.
again because
Yeah.
I was like that. One of my kids got up and went to the washroom during that scene, so I was a little kind of like looking out a bit, but like
Okay.
yeah. So yeah, I'm curious to
Yeah.
see that
So
again.
Phil Tippett is back in the house. So
Nice.
that was fun. I'm glad they called on him. You know, the last thing he did for Star Wars was in the Skeleton Crew. You remember the giant crab,
Yeah.
like made out of garbage? I don't know how
Yeah.
to.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Hmm.
that's the last time that the Phil Tippett's crew worked on something
Okay.
Star Wars. So that was fun to see them back in action. Number four, seeing Embo in live action for the first time. Embo is the bounty hunter you briefly mentioned
Yeah.
about earlier. He was my favorite bounty hunter in the Clone Wars animated series. I liked
Huh.
him even more than Cad Bane. I don't know
Well,
why.
they could have a
I,
similar kind of look to
yeah,
them, a
yeah,
bit,
with
but
the hat
yeah.
thing and the way he uses it as a sled
But
sometime, and
when I saw him and the way he was using his hat and fighting, it reminded me. I can't remember the guy, but there's a guy in Mortal Kombat. Uh,
yeah, Kung
is that him? The guy who was a hat or so?
Yeah,
Same
that's
thing.
Liu Kang's friend. That's
Yeah, yeah,
Kung Lao.
exactly.
Yeah.
It had a lot of that vibe to it, but it was really cool the way that like he was using it to battle and everything like that. So
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah,
like
that
Captain
was
America feel like you're using it like a shield
true.
almost. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, very fun. Ludwig Göransson's work in on the music. I thought it was fun. I really like the Shikari team, especially.
Is that the like
Uh,
techno kind of
yeah.
yeah, so that was hit or miss. For me it's like I
Mm-hmm.
thought it had that Andor feel to it a little bit.
Yeah.
Um but I'd have to watch it again because you hear it a couple times throughout the movie, and I just like I don't know if it fit that as well as I thought it could. Like with Mandalorian,
Okay.
it felt like it's something that could have been in a different series, but I felt like Mando's music has a bit of an expectation to
Yeah.
what we've had, and I thought it was a little odd. It was an odd choice, but I liked it. I liked the song, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if I liked it in that setting. It's kind of weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
It's
I'm
like
indifferent, but
you enter like a city like New York, Times Square,
yeah,
or Tokyo, or so. Yeah, no, I liked it.
I liked
Uh,
the song. Like I said,
mhm.
I wasn't sure if I just didn't expect it. For me, it kind of caught me off guard, I guess, for that.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah. Six, all of Grogu's funny moments. I mean, there was more than one, and they were all fun. I mean, when he blows up the mouse droid at the beginning, that was cool.
yeah,
When he knocks on Mendo's helmet because of the turbo
yeah.
detonators
That
behind
was
him, like once it's funny, but then he looks back and come on, man, let's go.
yeah.
And the
There's
second
a
time,
little,
so
but there's a lot of stuff I thought where, and I like that stuff. I thought there's very much a lot of focus on let's make a little cute, let's cute scene with Grogu. I thought it was
yeah,
almost overdone. I mean, at the beginning you see the little sneeze, the little baby sneeze he does with got the snow on him and all this stuff.
yeah, true.
But like, I just felt like throughout the movie there was a lot of like, oh look how cute Grogu is. Oh look at what he's doing. There's a lot of
Yeah.
moments, right, that you heard in
Oh
the
yeah,
crowd. So
definitely.
it's like at one point it's just like, all right, don't worry, you're gonna sell the
We
toys,
know
right?
you're
Like it's
cute.
like, yeah. But yeah, I agree. It was fun to, like I said, I like that light humor and kind of witty humor at times, which is something that's been missing in some of the other
hmm
stuff. So yeah,
His interaction with the Anzodans as well is pretty cool. You know, they're not he's not the Anzodans' favorite since season 3. You know, with the bad baby
yeah,
thing and
yeah, yeah. That was fun to
stuff
see
like
that
that.
that chemistry.
And
They knew they had something with that, so it was fun to see it
oh
come
yeah, for
back.
sure. That's why I brought my buddy Clang over here.
Yeah.
So the review is coming this Friday, by the way.
Okay. Okay.
So that's one. And what else? What else? Well, the relation between Din Djarin and Grogu. I mean, it didn't evolve that much, but I really like that scene after he recovers, and he says the old protects the young, and the young protects the old.
Yeah.
This is the way. So if there's like one message you need to take out with you at the end of the movie, I guess that should be it. I
Yeah.
mean,
Hmm.
life is a cycle.
Yeah.
When you're young, your parents take care of you, and when your parents they get older, it's your turn to care about them. You know, it's like a wheel.
Even
So
though technically Grogu was older than him, it's
yeah, I know.
no, but I totally get what you're saying for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So yeah, that's it. That's all my the things that bothered me and that I liked. So
to finish off and wrap this up, where do we go
mhm,
from here? Where does Disney go from? This was, I think, the last major project that Kathleen Kennedy was involved in.
true.
She kicked this all off. So a lot of people were kind of talking, but like, you know what? If you didn't like what she was doing in the past and all this stuff, then you probably were gonna like this anyway.
Mhm,
It feels like there was a shift that was taken, like at one point, and maybe that's not what they originally wanted to do when they announced it. I really thought it was going to have like a little bit more of a, not a, End Game or Infinity Stone kind of thing, like where they reassemble everyone, or Marvel Avengers. But I felt like we're getting more of that. But the thing is, the fact that Ahsoka season 2 didn't come out in
mhm,
between kind of like limited what they could do. And
yeah.
I would like, if I think in a perfect world, Ahsoka would have came out. Um, could they have done another Mando season and then wrap it up in a movie? I think that would have been a little bit more successful.
Yeah.
And again, with the leash taken off a little bit off of, I think Dave and John, like maybe
Mhm.
under the new regime, I guess of where they're going, their new direction.
Yeah.
But I mean, if it didn't do well, if didn't live up to expectations, call it the Kathleen Kennedy. But Dave and John had their own part to play in this, and
Yeah.
was there stuff that like they were limiting, or is it a change of strategy somewhere in the lines that say, okay, listen, we're gonna focus on Ahsoka and then build off that. So this right now we're gonna have to kind of calm or scale back what we thought we
Mm.
wanted to do. Who knows? But I mean, I'd be
Well,
fine never watching another Mando movie again and just keep going as a series.
here's my theory, and keep in mind that I don't have Dave Filoni's number on speed dial on my
You
cell phone.
don't?
No, not yet, not yet. I'm
Yeah,
working on it, but
yeah,
not yet. So we know for sure that the next phase in the Mandoverse is Ahsoka.
yeah.
It's coming out. They said early 2027.
Yeah.
That's locked in. After that, I saw an interview with Filoni that says that it might not be the final season of Ahsoka.
Okay.
So he leaves the door open. I think the reception on season two will impact whatever happens after that.
But who knows? Like you
Then we
said,
have
it's Mandoverse, right? Almost in a way. I know it's called Ahsoka, but it's like in that kind of same timeline.
well, it's New Republic era. Let's
Yeah.
call it that. But
Is it going to be, if even if there is another Ahsoka series, will it be a Mando 4.5? Like, like they did with like Book of Boba Fett? Like, can they
mhm,
just make it? It's Ahsoka, but put other people in it. I mean, let's face it. Mando season 3 is, people have even kind of said, like, is the Mando that they're referring to, is it Bo-Katan in season 3? Like, because
yeah,
it's her story, right? So
true.
yeah,
How they retake Mandalore and everything.
yeah,
So, but speaking of Bo-Katan, the time that the time lapse that would have happened between Mando season three and then Mando season four, whenever it comes out,
hmm
I think they would have taken huge step in rebuilding Mandalore and the Mandalorian culture.
yeah,
And remember, we saw a mythosaur deep in the
yeah,
water, and so that has yet to be seen.
yeah.
So my theory is that we get Ahsoka season two, Mando season four, and then it could be Filoni's movie wrapping the whole
I know, man.
Mandoverse with the battle with Tron and everything.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's gonna be
so
a tough sell to get movies out there, especially if they're working on the next phase. We have Starfighter. What's the one with Ryan Gosling that's coming out?
yeah, yeah,
But that
Starfighter, but
feels
that takes place after episode 9.
well. That's it.
So
But I feel that that's going to be your one off unless it's a huge success. But I mean, I think that's
mhm.
your one off, and then after that, we're going back to what do
The
you want
great
to call
movie.
it? Yeah, well, like you want to like exactly. Well, is it a Ray movie or is it? There's multiple talks of what's
Well,
been.
yeah, no, it's not Dawn of the Jedi. It's well, we don't what you
But
mean. It's
what I'm getting at
the
is with a release schedule of movies coming out, I'm not sure you can go and fit this Filoni movie in there anymore, right? And I think especially after this one, like I said, it was a very mediocre reception, I guess at best.
yeah. But they would have more tools to make it more epic with
Yeah, but
a huge space battle
I
between
find
Tron
they've
and
set the stage right now, unfortunately, with this, and there was a lot of there was just as much bad reception as there was good. I find, and
mhm,
it just wasn't a huge success. And I think that like if you say, oh, another Mandalorian movie, people are gonna be like, you know what? Well, the
mhm,
last one felt like a season. Maybe I'll just wait, right? So I think they have the opportunity to make one of the most epic series and one of those kind of things where they can do like a part one, part two kind of thing, right? Like a
season wrap up. Yeah, at
yeah.
the
So
end.
like,
Yeah.
well, so no, but like you can do like a call it a series Mandoverse. Well, I'm just gonna use a stupid name, but let's say Mandoverse, whatever, right? Like you have like a Avengers or something where you could just say
Hmm.
find a name that say everyone's gonna be in it, get the hype, and make it a two-parter where like episode, and then you
Yeah,
wrap up the
Tron's
story.
Doom or something like
Something
that.
like that, yeah. So but you can do that with like two series of seasons like kind of like Andor and
Yeah.
that would be it, right? Like wrap it up like that, and then move on I
Yeah,
know you want to
and
sell
when I
Grogu
say
toys,
Tron's
but
Doom, I'm not trying to write myself a role in it. Well, if they call me, I
yeah,
would
yeah,
think
yeah.
about it. But
Anybody, I think anyone would go. So but I think that's we'll see what happens, and we'll get a lot of answers. I think come April 2027,
mhm.
at Celebration. Is that
Yeah, I'll be
yeah,
there.
yeah,
Surprise, surprise! I got tickets thanks to a friend who got in the queue way before me.
okay. I don't.
They're going to start talking about that whole mess that was the ticket purchasing
Yeah, well, I
process
think
for
everyone's had
celebration. But
their. Yeah, I mean, it was if you read any of the forums and the groups and all
I
that
was
stuff, it was just
ready. Yeah, it was at 3 p.m. Eastern time for me, and I got in at 6:25, so 3.5 hours later.
wow.
And my friend got in 3 times in that same time lapse.
Jeez, yeah, what
So
a mess. But I mean, it is what it is, right? Like also like San Diego Comic Con, all those kind of things. It's all like there's all these
yeah.
horror stories for that. So, but overall,
But the good news is I got tickets, so
well,
I'll
yeah,
be there. I might be able to report from LA in April
hey, when
2027.
I went 2019, it's someone that was going who canceled, and someone said, "Hey, we got these tickets. You want to go?" And I said,
Wow.
"Let's do it." So I mean, it's not impossible. Who knows what what'll
Hmm.
happen from now till April? Um,
Well, I'll be there, the correspondent. I can't speak it with you from
hey, we'll
home.
do a live or something.
Yeah,
So let's finish it off. Just so with your overall, I kind of said mine 6.5, 7. Give your
I'm
final
not far off
impressions
from you.
and
I'm gonna
yeah,
give it a 7.5.
okay,
That's the initial thought I had coming out of the movie, and I don't think it has changed since then. There's some cool stuff, great moments. My expectations were too high, and it met what I thought it would be. So I had a good time. I was sitting in a movie theater with a bunch of Star Wars fans. I got to see a Star Wars movie for the first time in 7 years. I mean,
yeah. Well, that's it.
that
The big
that's
screen.
that's a cool comeback for Star Wars. I mean, but it can only go uphill from that point, with Starfighter. I mean,
Yeah,
uh, Ryan Gosling works on great projects.
yeah.
We saw Project Hail Mary. I
I
don't know
just
if
saw
you
that
saw
not
it.
too long ago. It was really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it was a freaking good movie. Really liked it. So I can't wait to see what he does. One of my favorite movie from him is Driver.
Yeah, me too. Oh my god, you nailed it.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I like the actor. Not too sure about the story with the kid. I can't wait to see
Another babysitting
how
story or
they
whatever, but
use it. Yeah,
yeah.
babysitting again. No, not.
But though
Uh,
I'll leave it on this. I gave 6.5, 7. My kids were there, as you know. They said it was amazing. They absolutely loved it. They thought it was
Great.
one of their favorite movies. So
Wow.
in the end, that's who Disney needs to get on board, right? And
Yeah.
they and you know what, they I made them watch Project Hail Mary. I think the same week, and they loved it.
Wow.
As I thought, this is long.
Mm-hmm.
There's not that much action. They love that movie too. So it's
That's
fun
fun.
to see that the two kids, the 10 and 12, can sit through a movie like that. And well, they loved Rocky, obviously, right? Like so,
Yeah.
but they loved Mando. When we walked out of this, so what I walked out. I'm like, oh, all right, whatever. And I said, what do you guys think? They're like, oh, it was amazing. It was one of my favorite movies. I'm like, perfect. That then they succeeded.
Great.
In the end,
They're
that's
the target
yeah,
audience, right?
yeah. And if they liked it, then I'm happy. So it's looking good.
Awesome.
All right, let's wrap it up.
Yeah. So, well, thanks again to Disney Entertainment Quebec for giving us an early access on the movie, and especially allowing some of our followers to see that movie in the same time. We were able to treat them with some free tickets.
It was great to
They,
put a
they
face to
were
the
happy.
people that we've been kind of corresponding to as well.
Yeah, and they were happy to be able to get to see the movie, a few days in advance. So that was fun. Um, on a personal note, I have my Lando Skiff Guard helmet review that is out since last Friday. So check it out. It's a cool helmet, very
Yeah,
really fun, and it breaks the cycles of clone trooper helmet and Mando helmet. We kind of have the same repaint
yeah, kind of
about
recycling the same
5 or 6 times,
thing.
but that's a brand new thing. So
Yeah,
that's fun. And this week, as I mentioned, I'll have my Clang animatronic figure review out this Friday. So this should be fun. And that's about it, guys. So for the Star Wars Artifact show, I'm Dominic. He's Eric. Thanks for watching till the end. And of course, may the force be with you always.